What's up, everyone? You know who I am? Thinking outside the box today. I got a white background behind me with my white hair. I wasn't thinking about that. It's not looking that white right now. But I got my black shirt on, so that's all that matters. I can't see anything yet. Aaron is here. He's moderating. Just to let you know, Aaron has a website. I've mentioned it on here many times, called Flat5, FLATFIV.com, www.flat5.com. It's a new teaching site that he just started that all of you are welcome to send material to, right, Aaron?
Yep.
If you want to have your video courses put up on Flat5 alongside mine and my friend Daryl Gable, and there's many other people that are going to be joining Flat5. It's a brand new teaching platform that Aaron designed. And so I have a course up there. My Advanced Harmonic Concepts is now up there. That used to be on a different site. I'm moving both of my courses to Aaron's site, but I've got 20% off that today if you guys are interested. It's a video course, PDFs. The code is BOX 621, BOX 621. That's also 20% off my Beato book today for the next day is BOX 621. So we're talking about thinking outside the box. Oh, one other thing. I have a master class here in Atlanta. Anybody that signs up for the master class, it's on July 21st. It's a Saturday. It's a month from now. Anybody that signs up during this episode, you can either come for the master class or you can come the night before. I'm having a VIP dinner with only a few people. If you pay for that, you come to that and the master class. Anybody that signs up on here, I give a shout out to who they are during the live stream right now. I'm going to say your name on here. All right? So you can go to my website at rickbeato.com to find that. So I'm talking about thinking outside the box. Any of you that have been following in my Instagram videos, I'm doing a lot more guitar playing on Instagram. I do my teaching here. I just do my shorter videos there, although Instagram is going to hour-long or to full-length videos apparently. But I want to talk about thinking outside the box, and that's like thinking outside the pentatonic box, as you can see in the thumbnail. And it's basically, it's not only what notes are available. Let's say you're just playing on a regular A7 chord, right? Well, you can play, you know, you can play an A minor pentatonic, you can play mixolydian. But it's really what you play in those scales that are really important. The types of ideas, how you break up your lines. And that is how you think outside the box. If you do things, let's say I'm thinking in A mixolydian. So that's, those are notes that are from the mixolydian scale. I'm using that. Using notes that are from that mixolydian scale, but it's the patterns. Now, right there is a line that is, you know, some of you might think, oh, that sounds like Eric Johnson or something like that, you know. So I did. So I started up here in this position. And I'm looking for some interesting interval combinations. But I'm using all the notes in D major or A mixolydian. So there's all those notes there. But I'm taking some interesting, I'm looking for those half steps. So I did F sharp G, then I move up major 7. Then here I'm going. Now, you can slow down the video after I've done this and figure it out. I'm not going to sit here and teach it to you. But those kind of lines are way more interesting than just playing your standard pentatonic things that you've played a billion times before. Why do you want to play those, right? Well, that's not bad, actually. But these interval combinations, well, how do you come up with these and how do you practice these things? So I like to look for things where you're doing, where there are sevenths, where there's half steps, and try and take it through the patterns of a scale. So let's say I'm thinking A mixolydian, so D major, over an A7 chord, just a simple heaven. So I'm thinking like, let's say I start down here. Okay, so I'm going G, E, G, F sharp, G, E. Can everybody hear me? I'm gonna turn up just a little bit. That's where I start getting out of the deal. Right? So that's a really great. Or if I do things. What did I play? Oh yeah, that's good. So here I'm doing a same A mixolydian, but I'm playing B, and I'm doing what I call a false fingering there. So I'm doing this F sharp to G twice. I did it again there. Finding those. Using the spread triads. I use diatonic arpeggio, seventh chords. So this would be a G major 7. So I'm using this G major 7, F sharp minor 7, E minor 7, D major 7, C sharp minor 7 flat 5, B minor 7. Right? So that's what I call thinking outside the box, taking those patterns, trying to find those good interval combinations within the scale, where the half steps are, where the sixths are, where the spread triads are. Those are all my spread triads. That's what Eric Johnson does that stuff a lot. You'll hear him, right? I love that sound. So I'm doing A major, next spread triad, or you got to learn them everywhere. Okay, and if you do A and G, gives you all those Mixolydian notes. That's some. There. Okay. Questions?
Hey Rick, on your book you say B flat over C equals C7. Why not C11?
B flat over C is C11 or it's C7. The C7 is the root chord though. So C11, it's still a functioning as a C dominant chord, or C. You could call it C sus if you want. C suspended. It's a C11, B flat over C, but the root chord of it acts as a dominant. So if you do 2, 5, 1, for example. So it functions as a dominant chord. It can function as a minor chord too, though. That's the thing, is that you guys know that there's a Pat Metheny song called Phase Dance that he did years ago. He's going. He's playing A over B to D over B, and it's but it's all he's using that actual chord, like A major over B, as part of a B minor 7, because those notes are from both scales. They can be from a minor. You can find it in Dorian. You can find it in Aeolian, and you can find it in Mixolydian. So,
what's the most efficient way to practice chords?
What's the most efficient way to practice chords? Well, I would say, you know,
I mean, is he talking about voicings or?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means here. You know, depends on how advanced you are. I mean, I went through a bunch of stuff there where I was doing all spread triads, right? You can also learn all your chords, for example, if you're doing major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor major 7, minor 7 flat 5, diminished 7th, you know, dominant 7th, dominant 13, dominant 13 sharp, or dominant 7 sharp, flat 13. You know, learning them off the 6th strings, we call that root 6. Learning them off the 5th string, major 7, minor 7. Hold on. Sorry. Learning them off the 5th string. D major 7, D dominant 7, D minor 7, D minor 7, D diminished 7, D minor 6/9, D minor 9, D minor major 7. But then there's also learning them D major 7, learning them in all different inversions. There's D major 7. Here's your next inversion would be F sharp minor 7, or like that. Okay, so those are other ways to practice them in off the root, off the third, off the fifth, and off the sixth, off the seventh. So there's so many different ways to practice them, practicing in them in progressions, right? If I go, let's say I've got G Dorian and I'm going. So I did G minor 7, passing diminished chord, passing diminished chord. So I'm doing that passing diminished chord is like a 5 of 2. Another 5 of 2. That would be a way to practice it in a 2-5-1, right? Sorry, my sound is kind of distorted. I'm not set up to play clean right now. So practice them in position, practice them in all the different inversions, and then practice them connecting them in chord progressions. I would say that's the best way to do it. And then practice them in single notes. Obviously, your single notes would be to go, there's your major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, diminished 7, all the different 7th chord possibilities. Do it off the 5th string. And so on and so forth. So those are ways to practice your chords. Practice them as chords in position, practice them in inversions, and practice them as in progressions, and then single notes. Those 4 things.
Somebody was asking about how you conceptualize the altered scale, whether you think of the scale half step above the melodic minor scale, or if you see the individual flat 5, flat 6, flat 9.
Well, I know where those notes are. So if I'm playing, I know that I'm on the sharp 9, I know I'm in the third, the root, the sharp 9, flat 9, sharp 5, flat 7. I know those notes because I know what they sound like against the root. But I also know where all the different arpeggios are and what are the different sounds you can play on there. So I can play it, start in A. So I started on A, but I played a B minor major, B flat minor major 7th arpeggio, which is kind of what you're talking about. Right? You can play, any of the scales that are out of this. If I play. So I played a D major 7 sharp 11 there. It's a cool sound. E is not in there, but E flat is in there. You gotta be able to go up and down any of the strings and know. I'm not thinking B flat melodic minor. I just know what all the intervals sound like in my ear. So no matter where I am, I kind of know where all the fingerings are, if that makes sense, Right? Yeah. It's just, it was so long ago that I learned this stuff that it's really hard to say, oh, I definitely learned it this way. I would probably practice B flat. I would probably practice a B flat melodic minor though, all over the neck, so that you know where all the fingerings are. You can think of it that way. What you don't want to do is have two steps involved in your thinking, because you really want to be hearing. But in order to hear, you have to know what the fingerings are, because you got to know where to go. Otherwise, you don't play the right notes. You know, I have a good friend of mine that's been playing gigs for, 35 years or so. I hope he's not watching right now. I'm not going to say his name, but he cannot solo over a tune and without making about 10 mistakes. Never. Doesn't matter how much he practices, because he never and he gigs all the time. I'm not going to say where he lives, but he just can't put his fingers in the right place. And it always amazed me and frustrated me that I used to say, can't say his name, dude, practice slow. Get these fingerings on. Get this under your hand, because you're just going to keep making mistakes, and he's never internalized it. And let's go back. I mean, it's impossible for him at this point. 35 years of gigs of playing the wrong notes constantly. I don't think he's ever played a solo where he hasn't hit at least 3 or 4 wrong notes. I mean, never. Doesn't matter how fast he plays. Because he just, there's a disconnect between his brain and his hand. And that's a real problem. So, you know, you got to get this thing so second nature, knowing where all these different scales and arpeggios are. And then the next thing is, how do you break them apart and make things that sound great? Because you can know all the scales and play incredibly lame lines. So you got to play great lines you got to know the material, and you got to know where all the cool intervals are and where the cool sounds are, and find those half steps in there, find those major sevenths, find those, you know, fifth intervals, whatever it might be. You know, if I'm playing on A Dorian, and I'm thinking, so I'm like, so I did. Right, there's a. Those are all really good intervals. A lot of fifths I'm doing. Fifth. These are compound fifths. Fifth, fifth, fifth. Hard to play those. All those good intervals. Those things, that's all A Dorian, it sounds. I love that. That, you know. I did, that's an A spread, A minor spread triad, and then an E minor spread triad. Okay.
All right, we have a lot of good questions today.
All right, let's hear them.
One is just relating back to the title of this stream. How do you break out of the pentatonic box?
First thing you do is add extra notes that are from different scales out of that box. So you've got, if you take that minor pentatonic and you think that let's say you're in Dorian, you're playing over an A minor chord, right? Or I say, okay, I've got this extra note, that 13th there, which is a cool note. So, I added it in that octave and added there. So I'm adding just one extra note. Okay, I can add the 9th, which is cool. Which is a cool sound too. That gives you that minor 9 sound. Okay, so then you add both and you got a Dorian scale. Okay, so there's that. Right? I'm using that 13th there. Okay, so that's how you start adding notes to that minor pentatonic in one position, and then you do it in other positions. You can add the blues note. You guys probably already know that. But add it in different spots where I can go. Instead of playing it here, do it like here. Cool. Right? It's a so I played it in here in this position. All 3 positions. So I'm adding those extra notes, the flat 5, the 13, the 9. You can use the flat 9. Stevie Ray Vaughan always used to do. I love that. Right? Cool that he used the flat 9. That's another way to use it. Do it up there, which would be the, but he's doing it here. It's really cool. Okay, so that's how you break out of the box. Just add those notes and find out where those cool notes are. Steve Lukather in Rosanna, you know. He adds those great sound. Yes, next question.
Is a chromatic median modulation any modulation that uses 2 chords that have a chromatic median relationship, regardless of what degrees they are on in either key?
The easy answer is watch my video on chromatic median modulations because there's a long explanation for this. You have to understand about where they come from, about parallel major, parallel minor, and how those all relate together, because there's a whole chart that you have to write out to understand what they are and how they relate to your parallel keys. All right, so there's not a fast answer. That's an entire video, and actually that's a very big video of mine, is chromatic median modulations, and they're very useful. They're not only useful in modern classical music, film scoring, but they're guys like Kurt Cobain used them all the time in his compositions in Nirvana. Songs like Something by the Beatles used chromatic median modulations. It's basically third related modulations, but they can come from the key you're in, or they can come in from the parallel minor. When I say parallel minor, if I'm in A major, the parallel minor is A minor. So, anyways, watch that video. That's a very, very good video, and it gets into a lot of detail about that.
How does the flat 9 Stevie Ray Vaughan get explained in theory? Is it Phrygian-ish?
Yeah, you could say it's Phrygian-ish. But he uses it as a passing, as an upper neighbor tone. I think that's probably how he hears it. But it's like if I'm playing over an A7 chord. I always do that. That's my, you know. That's my Phrygian. So that's a cool sound, yeah. I mean, you can play Phrygian over a dominant chord, and it sounds great. It gives it a Spanish feel. I love that sound.
Somebody asked, would you mind explaining the mood and modes? I'm trying to figure out what makes a particular mode a particular mood.
What makes a mode great?
Right.
The moods come from where all the mood comes from the how you voice voicings and what notes you use. Like I was talking in the last night on my Muse video. I talk about how Matt Bellamy uses a flat 6 in his melody on that song on the G sharp minor chord. Now that flat 6 is from Aeolian or it can be from Phrygian, but in that case it's from Aeolian, it goes over the 6th chord. And that's a really melancholy note. Well, why though? It's because it's a half step. It's an important note in the scale. You always look for where the half steps are because that's where all the action is. That's where you get the real sound of the mode. In Aeolian, the half steps are between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. In Dorian, they're between 2 and 3 and you tell me what? And 6 and 7. There's a lag on here, so I was going to say, I was going to quiz you guys. You know, in Mixolydian, they're between 3 and 4 and 6 and 7.
There you go.
Lydian, they're between 7 and 8, and they're between sharp 4 and 5. That's where you get those sounds. If I'm going to play a C Lydian chord, I'm going to play a voicing like this. Right? Or an E Lydian chord. I'm going to put that sharp 4 in it. Put the 9th in it too. That's a cool sounding voicing. I could play it, you know. I could play a voicing like this. Let's see here. Here's a hard one. Oh! That's like the hardest Lydian voicing to play right there. That would be an E Lydian voicing, but it's... Let's see if I can grab it right out of the air. Hold on. Check it out. That's some Holdsworth voicing right there. So I got E, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, which is my sharp 4, F sharp, B. That's a great Lydian sound, right? I'm taking advantage of those where those half steps are in there, right? Here I did it, I put it in the voicing. I put it right there in the middle of the chord. I could put it, you know, if I did a Lydian sharp 9 sound, that would be a Lydian sharp 9 voicing. Aaron liked that, I know. So I've got that major 7th interval in it, right? Between the sharp 9 and the major 7th. Plus I have this. We have the 3rd there, right? But I have the major 7th here. So there's major 7, there's one dissonance, there's another dissonance. Great sound. So look for the half steps. That's where what gives you the sound of the mode.
And for demonstration of some more advanced modes, Rick has a lot of videos, like the double harmonic major video, where you just demonstrate different sounds on each mode.
Yes, I have many videos where I demonstrate the sounds of modes. I have videos for every single mode of the major scale, melodic minor scale, harmonic minor scale, harmonic major scale, double harmonic major scale, the dominant diminished, the tonic diminished, the augmented scale, the whole tone scale. I have multiple videos of the diminished scale. And I have videos on every mode of those. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian, melodic minor, Dorian flat 2, Lydian augmented, Mixed Lydian sharp 11, Mixed Lydian flat 6, Locrian natural 2, altered dominant, harmonic minor, shall I keep going? I also have coffee mugs that I sell on my website that has the, as a segue, that has the formulas of all these scales. And we sell a lot of the double harmonic major scale. But check out my website if you guys want to drink your coffee in the morning. As for real, I have all these different modes of the melodic. I don't have the modes of the major scale because everybody should know this. I have all the melodic minor, the harmonic minor, harmonic major, I think, and double harmonic major. And it spells out the formulas on all of them. So yeah, so there you go. It's a little plug for that. Beato book. You've been putting it in right here, Aaron?
Yeah.
BOX, what?
621.
621.
Today's date.
Today's date. So once again, well, I got you guys on. I'm doing a masterclass live here from 10 to 4 on the 21st of next month, 21st of July, here in Atlanta at a place called the Vista Room. I'm going to be doing basically like 5 episodes of all different types of things, music theory, what makes a song great, guitar playing stuff, improvisation, listening to some people's songs, doing critiques. We'll have lunch included. Come meet me in person. Also, there are special VIP tickets the night before. I'm taking a few people out to dinner. It'll be from 8 to 11, hanging out, chatting, and you come to the thing the next day. Anybody that buys a ticket here on the live stream right now, I'm going to tell you their name. Anybody yet, Aaron? Not yet, right?
Not yet.
So, but if somebody buys one tonight, I'll put them in the video comments. Anybody that buys one in the next 24 hours is going to get named in the video here. I'll put them in the description. Just thought of that. Any other questions?
Somebody was asking about add 9 chords. I know you have a specific more arpeggio way you're using them.
Yeah, so add 9 chords, you know, playing them in single notes. Yeah, they're hard to play. They're hard to play. That would be a D add 9, right? So I'm doing. That's add 9. So there's they're very hard to finger, but I would just practice. You know, start with 1 and learn the fingerings. D add 9. They're hard. Ooh, that's hard to play. I'm losing weight. Yes. Yes. 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Thank you. Whoever said that. I couldn't see. Love those add 9s and heavy compositions. Yes. Add 9s, sus2s. Sus2s are even harder. Man, my guitar is really going out of tune here.
What is Q median chord shorthand from Beato book? That's a chordal.
Chordal.
voicing.
Yeah, chordal voicing. So it'd be like GQ over A would be a voicing like this. So it'd be G chordal. So G, C, F over A. Okay, if it's a chordal with a sharp 4, it could be that. So perfect 4th, augmented 4th. It's just a shorthand I use, just to get us an exact voicing. I could say G minor 7 or A minor 7 sharp 5. But there's not really a sharp 5 in A minor 7 to be A minor 7 flat 6. But when you say flat 6, it implies there's a fifth. If somebody said A minor 7 flat 6, I'd play voicing like that. If you want that chordal voicing though, just the, then it's better to notate G, Q over A. Shorthand. Anything else here, Aaron? Did I catch a stomach bug? I did. I was out for 1 day. Oh, it was brutal. That was 3 days ago or so. Man, oh. But I didn't lose any. Well, I don't know. Maybe I lost a couple extra pounds because of that. Good. I didn't think of that actually. I mean, I still have another. I gotta lose 20 more pounds or so. But yeah, I really appreciate that. It's tough. It's tough to lose weight when you get old, man. Play a quick heart-shaped box, HK. Oh, come on, man. Of course I'll play it for you. Oh, the heart-shaped box is is down a half step, bud. Hold on. Chorus. That's so great. Who writes a guitar part like that? Kurt Cobain does. The man. Lydian. Mixed Lydian. That's amazing, right? Everybody thinks Kurt Cobain, oh, you can't play the guitar. All the 80s metal guys that said, oh, Kurt Cobain can play the guitar. Kurt Cobain pretended to be a bad guitar player so people wouldn't realize how complex his songs were.
So we got 2 questions now about thoughts on peer review and composition by subs. Do we want to give them a little peek?
Yes. Aaron, you want to tell them? Wait, can they hear you, Aaron, or not?
I don't know. Why don't you tell them?
Okay, so you mean tell them about the new? Yeah. Okay, so you guys know that I don't do Patreon. I don't believe in Patreon. I don't like Patreon. But Aaron has created a Patreon through Flat 5, his own version of it, which is just called Flat 5. The Beato, what are we calling it right now?
Beato Club?
The Beato Club. So people can I haven't announced it yet, but I guess I'm saying it right now for the 261 people on here. So what it's gonna, one of the perks at the highest level actually is that I do a live reaction video to your song.
Every month.
Every month. I'm gonna limit it to, a certain number of people, but I will listen to your song or your piece. I mean, if it's an hour-long piece, I'll have to, that might be tricky, but I will do a live reaction video where I'll say what I think about it. I did it on Instagram the other day. Or no, I did it on a live stream on my second channel the other night where somebody played a tune that they produced, and I did a critique. I said, that the kick drum is inconsistent rhythmically in the first few bars. The ukulele was rushing. You got to fix those hits, especially at the beginning of the track, because your first impression of the track is extremely important. You can have untightness, but you don't want to have it up at the top of the track. You need more. You need to be compressed or have a more consistent kick and snare. And I went through and I gave him a critique on the whole song. From listening to it. And I talk about the melody, if it's a strong melody, if the lyrics are good or not, things like that. So that'll be one of the pledge amounts on the new Beato Club that's going to be announced. Well, it was just announced. So I'm going to make a video for it, but it's going to be on Flat 5. When's it going to be ready, Aaron?
We can have it ready tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to make the video for it, but yeah, so it will be ready. So, so you'll get your own personal reaction video. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. Steve, I said Kurt was a killer guitar player. You know, people that are great musicians, I'm not saying I'm a great musician, but people that are great musicians knew that Kurt Cobain was serious, man. He was serious. One of the greatest melody writers ever. Thanks, Tom. Man, they're noticing the weight loss. You know what it is? I think it's the white background, because normally I'm sticking way out here, looking bad, but and the shirts are getting looser. I had to go buy some new shirts. I'm not debuting one right now, but in my next video, I'm going to debut a couple of my new shirts I bought. I just went down a size. I mean, you know, that's a good feeling. Like Steven Tyler says, nothing tastes as good as thin feels, right? Did I get it right? I tried to say that the other night and somebody corrected me, but that's why they've never gotten fat, none of those guys. Nobody in Aerosmith, nobody in the Stones ever got fat. Unbelievable. Jeff Beck never got fat. None of them. It's unbelievable. Never. Never had a belly. How's that possible? Anyways.
Off topic here.
Okay, so there we go. I think we're good. We good?
Yep.
You guys are amazing. Beato book 20% off. Box 621 is the code. BOX 621. Advanced Harmonic Concepts. Go to flat5.com. You can find it through my website, or just go to flat5.com and you can find it 20% off that course, a video course with PDFs. You guys are great. If you don't subscribe here, subscribe. You guys, Tom, everybody, I'll be on tonight on the second channel. So I'll be on at my usual time. So you guys, HK, we'll see everybody over there tonight, and I'll talk a little bit more about all this stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you.